Hi Pisces. Welcome to now. Whenever you arrive. So, Pisces. I actually decided to use, I found these really cool, I guess this is a die, right? But it has all the zodiac signs. There you are, Pisces. And I used this month, which I actually liked. I think it makes you, because I know you're usually last on, well, I'd say most tarot, most readers' rosters, right? But I think you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think you're the 8th sign, which is cool. It's a good number, right? It's the infinity symbol that's over the magician. It's in the strength card, right? So, imagination in the heart. That's cool. I like that. You have this really neat card too in the center. This Wheel of Fortune. This deck is really wild. She draws like I do a bit. It's funny. Excuse that propaganda. Actually, they're everywhere. I didn't realize that. But point of the story, Pisces, is that you. This is almost like a clock. Okay. And there's actually 8. I was gonna put like 12 cards, like an actual clock, but there's actually 8 of them. Fascinating. So the number 8. What's that silly kid joke? Why was 7 scared of 8? Because 7, 8, 9. Anyway, Pisces. I'm glad that we're being lighthearted here. Okay. You have 2 4s on the board, 2 kings and a queen. 1 7. The 2 4s live at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. It would make, I guess it would be natural in a sense, but your sleep patterns are so immensely intertwined to everything about you, right? How you sleep, what you dream about, but mostly I sense like the ritual around it, or the ceremony around it. There's something important about that, knowing exactly what you need for sleep. Most of you probably already know, but that's important. If you start to become too dense, or you're not feeling as full as you were, like all that energy that we had in the beginning, right? This is where you have to rest, okay? That'll also help. It'll help your energy so much. It'll help whatever it is that you're trying to create right now, too. Because you are trying to create. There is, what did we say in the beginning? Creativity in the heart, right? I definitely see that. Fascinating. I like when something's re-emphasized, right? It's not like we were looking for it. It just showed up. It's sort of, now it's here again to again, reinforce something. Good. And if we're reinforcing, it's becoming stronger, right? More stable. Good. Good, Pisces. I guess I'd like, for those of you who can see, be grateful. And if not, I'll also describe it. There are 6 white candles that are creating an enormous flame, to which an angel with her wings and her arms above her head is holding the 7th candle, standing atop of the flame. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that image? I heard, are you the angel, or are you just or are you standing by watching? This also shows me great control over your fire. This Queen of Wands has, since I started my channel, pretty much has always showed up. She's always throughout your readings. And I think it's because you're traditionally ruled by Jupiter, right? For your fire sign. So that's important to remember. You know what I mean? That's very important to remember. Because if you notice in her candle, it's so delicate, you know? And composed. Good. Some of you could be thinking about someone afar, or someone's thinking about you afar. You could even be in the same room. I don't know, but it could be afar. But you're sort of thinking different things. Seeing a situation the way you're thinking, the way each person is thinking about it right now is a little bit different. This has to do with 7 o'clock. See, most of you doing well in your finances, creating in that you're growing, in that you have enough. And if for some reason you'd like to expand that, or you're curious about what you're creating in the physical world, this has to do with 4 o'clock. Well, that you know that you have the seeds, know that you have the power to do that, know that you don't need much to grow what you need. Okay? And if anything, I think that most of you already have what you need. That's already I heard, laid out for you in some kind of way. You could think about, again, how you'd like to go about something in ways of creativity a little bit different, the ways that you'd like to be creative and what you're creating, and the way you'd like to express more of the fire, the passion inside of yourself, right? The King and Queen of Wands are both here. Really beautiful, actually. Such individual cards, right? And I really see if your dreams are too intense, or whatever your sleep schedule, ritual, what have you, you do a lot of purifying, Pisces, in your dream world. Two, 3, 8 o'clock. So maybe most Pisces would actually like to shower in the mornings versus in the evenings, because when you wake up from dream world, you'd want to sort of wash that world off a little bit, right? Start a new day with something. I do see something about time, because we have this clock here, right? It's almost exactly aligned, Pisces. It's almost there. So I guess in some senses, it's not quite the time for something. This goes back to 7 o'clock with the people, there's conversations maybe that want to be had, or thoughts that are being had about things, but they are each their own, but also connective, but different than one another, some of the parts. So before there can be an ultimate clarity about that, there needs to be a little bit more time. But this is where you need to focus more on 2 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Six o'clock, excuse me. 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Because those ones are actually aligned right now. Those are in the right space. I also see that fire is the one that's the fire that you're working through, maybe certain actions that you're trying to take, or the actions that you're taking. I see it's really important for you to, I see again, please get a good night's rest. I also see, I forget what it's called, but basically where you light candles as part of a ritual or what have you, or your prayer practice, or it's just good to have them around. And I see, I guess white candles would be helpful. I also see yellow. Yeah, white and yellow. I actually, yeah. 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I hope you're following this. It's really cute. 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock are those are all aligned, right? Which I guess we can also break it down to, if you recognize this, whatever this sleep, dream, world, that realm, this realm, that whatever's connecting there, and you taking care of yourself in really simple ways, so that the way that you feel and how at home you feel with yourself and wherever you're at, if you're really focusing on that, then I see that your physical world, your money, whatever you're creating in this physical life is really fruitful and very creative. Because I guess you're using your energy and you're paying attention, your energy in the right way, which comes from the fire, right? You do purify so much when you're sleeping in the dream world. It's really trippy. It's cool. I totally get that. I see most of you like cats. Cats around you, if you see them, those would be helpful. I guess there's also a question to, or there's an advice to not worry about what the harvest is going to be exactly. Okay? Not at this time. I see more springtime, more Ostara, the equinox, would be more of a time, right? Because we have to get through Pisces season before something really new things start happening then, right? Or at very least bigger things happen then. And then you can judge, like if you're closer to Antarctica, then you're judging your harvest. If you're closer to the Arctic, then you're working towards, what you will be growing. And I see that you'll gain clarity on that. Yeah, it'll be fine. feel good about that. Maybe that goes back to the fire too, is feeling really warm about that. Right where you're at, feeling very aware of where there's too much water. Right? Where there's too much water, and when there is, viewing that in a way that is emotionally healthy, right? Expressive. It needs to be external, right? Because I will say the King and Queen of Wands are external, but the things that you're working through are all internal. How do you feel about what you're creating, Pisces, right now? Well, what are you creating and how do you feel about it? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel hopeful about it? Do you feel worried about it? What's going well? Right? What can be fine-tuned a little bit? What can be seen in like a different kind of way? Is there any other way you can look at the situation to how wired I see how having a conversation can be so helpful about something. Having a conversation can be about, I guess having conversation about those questions can be very helpful. There's something also very strategic about what's going on here, or there needs to be a little bit of strategy put into it. Like what are the steps, right? What's your next move? But remember, you're not playing speed chess. You don't necessarily have to have, you don't have a timer where you feel rushed, right? There really is no timing in life. You know what I mean? We pretty much have the opportunity to choose to do or not do whatever and whenever we want. And, of course, that equals different results, right? Depending on what all the parts are. But I see that it's important with chess, right? Generally, if you're a good chess player, you're at least looking at what's happening in that moment. I see positive and negative, right? Harmonious, disharmonious. What could be the possibilities? Okay, if you move here, you know, is this in danger? Or what's the probability of that? Or would you lose that piece? Would it be worth it to gain that other piece if you know that you're going to have to lose a piece? Right, just these different kinds of, what does this action equal? What does that action conclude? But I guess to be a really good chess player is you're thinking 3 moves ahead, right? Not just in the moment, because whether it's chess or billiards or what have you, you never want to just focus in on what you're doing, or like the one thing that just one little area to win the game, if you will, or you need to pay attention to the whole board, right? You have to pay attention. It's important to pay attention to all the parts, and not just your team, but the other whoever you're playing with, right? Pisces. And then remembering that in chess or any game, even the game of life, and I don't mean the Hasbro, but there's no winners and losers, right? We're just playing. You know what I mean? just learning. Because sleep was such a big part of this, it would also be good for you to know how do you sleep according to the moons too, right? Some people have a harder time when it's full. Some people have a harder time when it's new, right? When Lilith is around. So and then maybe if you know, finding out what phase was the moon in when you were born. Maybe that'll give you some indication. It give you some space to to look at things again, something, looking at it creatively through your heart space. And loving what it is that you are creating, right? That's important, Pisces. Let's see about this fire. 3 of Pentacles. Ended up on that 7 of Wands. Awesome. Well, you are safe, you are loved, you are protected. Did you know that? Believe that you are safe, loved, and protected. Believe it. And then teach it, right? Right. There you are. Cute. Very cute. Awesome reading, Pisces. I like using the die or dowsing and things like that to choose the signs. I mean, it's always so random, but it makes a different energy, you know? It's sort of surprising. It's like, oh, we're going to do that today? Okay. You know, not resisting it at all, just accepting it as it comes in and then rolling with it and seeing, again, how creative we can be in that space, right? Like, that's really, really, really amazing, right? Fill in the book as you please for the day, for the season, for the year, or whatever. Beautiful. All right, Pisces. Well, good reading. Thank you for being here. Any of you still here, Pisces. Really, though, it's the 3-year anniversary of Opal Oracle, so thanks so much. We wouldn't all be here existing in this space if we weren't all here existing in this space, so thank you for taking the time. In relation to time, I did those of you who don't know, I made a Patreon page, and feel free to check it out. There's a link in the box, but but I did a solstice to equinox reading, which helped me to figure out also, because I was like, well, what about people near Antarctica, right? You wouldn't say winter solstice because there it's the summer solstice, right? So then I figured out it's always the 1st and then the 21st, and then it goes to the 1st and the 21st, and we go down the line all year long. And so technically it's Yule until Ostara, which is March 21st. So there's these little 3-month time frames, forecasts that I did. So check them out if you please. And anyone who's already over there, thanks. It's fun space. It's it's definitely starting to some energies going in there now. So I'm excited about it. All right. Well, that's that. Happy now. Happy Capricorn season. Be responsible. Saturn's Day. Love you. Peace.